Okay, so it's this is a feature of inventory adjustment that we talk about in little detail. So initially we have the kind of feature available where we covered some of the scenarios जहाँ पे normally distributor to distributor transfer and same transfer in the same SKU was covered. But in this time we took a step to revamp the whole feature, and we have introduced some of the complex scenarios that are normally been asked or that are normally followed in the distributions in their day-to-day operations. So I'm just going opening the form to give you a little bit understanding on how we are taking it forward. So what are the scenarios that we have covered, and what are the different permutations that we have worked on in this feature? So normally there are two operations are available, like inter-distributor and intra-distributor. So normally what happens is when you have to transfer stock, so there are situation occurs where आपकी stock में for example audit होता है and you find the stock discrepancy over there. Sometimes आपका stock is not about to meet to the actual physical inventory, and the system inventory and physical inventory doesn't meet that time. So what you need to do, there is a challenge occur कि system में जब आप अपनी inventory को balance करने आते हैं, there isn't any kind of feature available जहाँ पे आप adjustment in and adjustment out कर सकें अपना only on the same branch. Plus, if you wanted to move your stock from one distributor, one SKU to another SKU, in case of wrong DA receiving, or in case of wrong stock being in your physical stock, assume करते हैं कि आपके DA में SKU 1 आता है, but in your physical truck you are receiving SKU 2. Then there again you find complexity of maintaining that stock, right? So there are few combinations, like if you wanted to perform intra-distributor stock transfer on the same intra-distributor means the transfer happens on the same branch. So there are few options available, like adjustment in, adjustment out, and SKU to SKU, and but there will be two more options of batches. That will only occur when your system has batch enabled, right? Same goes for inter-distributor stock transfer. जब आप inter-distributor stock transfer पे जाते हैं, so the stock will transfer will happen to different distributors, right? So let's start. Let me go back to the screen and I'm just going to add a new adjustment. So here I can do add this adjustment using web form and CSV. Currently I'm using adding it using web form. I'm selecting the type intra-distributor, and then I'm going to perform adjustment in, right? जब मैं adjustment in select करती हूँ, so there is only one option of only one distribution selection is available, because I just need to either in the stock or out, either I have to out the stock. So adjustment in will only going to perform stock in, which means कि मैं अपनी में stock in करना चाह रही हूँ because under some reason, right? So what will I do? I will select some SKU over here. Right? और मैं up करती हूँ inventory, right? Currently it's 0. So what data will be showing here is unit carton size आपका क्या है, current stock आपका क्या है, and after change जो है what will be the inventory after change. ठीक है जी. So let me add carton. मैंने एक carton add किया, तो if you can see the change in the stock 28460 जो है आपकी inventory हो जाएगी after change. So if I add one more carton, then your inventory will be 28487 and your current stock will be 28433. So I'm just adding this stock, adding this over here there, save adjustment. Okay, so it will ask for a reason. Reason is mandatory because whenever you are adjusting any stock, so reason is required because of the traceability purpose. So let me just enter audit here. मैंने ये सेव कर दिया. So my record is added. इससे पहले I'll just go into the minimum stock and open minimum stock. Scale 1. So बल्कि हम यही देख लेते हैं. So yeah, here the system says 28433. SKU1 की हम इन्वेंट्री चेक कर लेते हैं for distributor. Yes. So the current inventory is sound inventory is 28433, right? If you go into the inventory adjustment, okay. So मैंने adjustment तो add कर दिया. Since I have approval mechanism open, my inventory is not yet updated in the system, right? The requisition is added, but until and unless I'll not approve this requisition, this inventory was not added in the will not added in the system. In the same way, the inventory will not move or delete or out from the system, right? Let me go into the approval screen and check the number of this adjustment is 1A9, IA9, right? अब मैं इसको सर्च कर लेती हूँ यहाँ जाके. The type was intra-distributor and it's IA9, right? If I see here, मैंने 2 cartons जो है की adjustment in की थी, and the reason was yes. If approval want to update the inventory, to update the quantity here, we can, or if approval want to update the reason here, so we can also update the reason here. So, these will be the final snapshot of the inventory or the final reason against what the inventory will be adjusted, right? So यहाँ से मैं इसको approve करती हूँ. So inventory adjustment approve हो चुकी है. So let's check. Let me just same screen on another tab. So before movement हमारी जो inventory थी was 28433, and after movement inventory should be like 28487, because I didn't change anything over there. Okay. Right. So let me go on to the other permutations of this feature. So it works in the same way it works for adjustment in, adjustment out, and SKU to SKU, right? So as I mentioned earlier कि हमने इसके लिए we made some system settings to create some kind of control over this. So I go into the system settings. Yeah, inventory adjustment settings. So here you can see different type of settings are available. If you only add inbuilt requisition, so on module only requisition option will be available. When you open the adjustment approval type settings, then the settings of adjustment approval will be enabled. And when you allow adjustment receiving, then receiving option will be available. This also controlled by user roles, and you can also like choose the options whether you wanted to transfer or just your stock in carton, box, or in units, or in all three of the three combinations. So yeah, Saman, that's it from my side.
Thank you, Saman. Okay, so guys, this is an extensive feature that we've worked on, and we've just given you demo of some parts of it because there are a lot of complex scenarios that are being covered. We can share in more detail any kind of user manual to walk you guys through, and you can also contact your respective account managers. They can guide you better on how to use any specific scenario that you have in mind and we've not covered in the demo. Okay, so moving on to the next feature that we worked on. Yeah, it's the payment recovery policy. So previously, if you attended the previous webinar, we worked on a credit module feature that we gave an extensive demo on how to set credit limits on stores. And there were different criterias of setting credit limits. So this is just an extension of that same credit limit module. You can now set a payment recovery policy by defining what kind of a store basically that is, whether it's a cash or a credit store, and then at stock allocation आपका वैसे ही credit और cash के ऊपर collection हो रहा होगा, right? And we've also made a minor adjustment in the credit module as well, which we'll be telling you about. So someone will be further giving you a demo and explaining how this payment recovery policy feature works. So over to Saman.
Saman, you have to unshare your screen. Okay, just give me a while. So yeah, hope my screen is visible to everyone. Yep. So last time we have introduced a feature called credit limit, where we have defined some kind of limits on the certain stores, so that there will be a kind of proper mechanism and start placing, right? So in extension of the same feature, we have also created a kind of control for the collection policy. So once the store has ordered, invoice uski banti hai, then this now the company or the distribution has the right to choose whether this policy will whether he wanted to collect how he wanted to collect recover the invoice amount. ठीक है, तो उसमें जो है उसमें देयर आर डिफरेंट काइंड्स. अभी हमारे पास कैश एंड चेक दो ऑप्शन होते हैं, एंड दोनों ऑप्शंस आर लाइक enabled by default, right? So in this way, so by using this feature, what the customer do is they can define the recovery policy by using this feature, and that policy will start implementing on the stores at the time of load form settlement. So there are two types, two or three, third type available, which is on both cash and check both. So if I go and select cash, the system will ask me on which distributor you wanted to apply those policy. Let me select a distributor here, and the relevant then the system asks me for the stores where on which I wanted to apply those policy. Let me select only one store over there at this time. Maybe select कर लेती हूँ. Okay, and I just need to give some type to this policy. Right. So now I've added this policy, which means whenever I try to collect cash, the system will only whenever I go to like collect go on load form settlement, system will only allow me to collect cash for this store, right? there will be no option available for the check collection for the particular store. If I go into the secondary order and if I place an order, so it's a kind of process you all know about. I just go and place orders, place. Store is not filtering for some reason. We have to check for another policy if there is any available. So this is of type cash. Type 4. Right, और मैं इसका delivery date select करती हूँ on same day online. And I'm selecting an SKU here, SKU1. And I'm just altering time limits of this SKU. Allocation पे जाके हम इसको allocate कर देते हैं sorter को. I'm just going to execute the invoice and load form check कर लेते हैं कि what's the load form number. Okay, now form settlement. So the policy type I defined for this particular store was cash. Let me go into this store and check if this allow me to, sorry. So this is allow me to collect cash and check, and maybe this is in use of any other policy.
क्या वेबिनार हो रहा है ना?
Yeah. So maybe this store is in use of any other policy. So let me create another one for some other store that is use me now maybe. Sorry. Store number 16. Okay. Start keeping these policies. So मुझे again order लगाना पड़ेगा. Store was store 16. Let's select 9th again. इसकी one ही select कर लेते हैं. And okay. So load from number 14. If I go and search that load from, so yeah, if I see, if you see here, the check is since we are only this only check policy is applicable on that store. So for this time, check is disabled for the particular store this time. If I collect cash and settle, then the settlement will be happen on cash. Yeah. So that was from so same was going for the cash. So that's it, someone from my side.
Thank you so much. Okay. So let's move on to the next feature that we will be presenting. Yeah, so it's dynamic claim generation. So currently what our systems claims was being used by many different customers, and they were being generated at a monthly basis. Like month ka end hota tha, and then you were able to see whatever claims you whatever trade offer claims or whatever STR claims that were available, but that was at a monthly basis. Say so आप पूरे month का claim generate कर सकते थे, but what we've done now is that we've given the capability to either define so now you will be able to raise claims either on a monthly basis, or you can even select a custom basically date range. For example, you say that my distributions should be able to raise claims for every 15 days. So like 1 से लेके 15 तक के, and then 15 से लेके 30th तक के, they should be able to raise claims, right? Or if you want claims to be generated after every week, then you set the specific time period, and then आपके automatically जो है ना वो claims जो है वो available हो जाएंगे based on whatever bucket you've selected, and you'll be able to raise claims based on the setting that you've defined. So Zoha will be giving you a demo of how this feature will be working. So over to Zoha.
Thank you, Saman. I'll be sharing my screen now. Right. So before walking you guys through the actual demo, as Saman said, I'd be setting a bit of context as to what dynamic claim generation is. So as Saman said, that initially the system just provided the users with the provision to raise claims after the entire month that has passed, right? You can't say raise the month of Jan on the 7th of Jan, that is today, right? So we've provided, so there are multiple requests as to how the distributions do not want to wait entire month to raise the claim, and then the approval hierarchy process takes place where the claim is approved and then the amount is reimbursed, which takes a couple of months for the payment to reach the distributor. So what was required of the system was the provision that the distributors are able to raise the claim for the current month as well, depending on the number of days that they define in the system. This would be a setting-based feature. That is, you would be able to raise claims by choosing one of the three options. You can either follow the same process that you're following right now, that is raise the claim of the previous month, which would be this particular setting. If you select this particular button, you'll be able to perform the activity like you do have previously done. If you select the week, then you'll be able to raise the claim on the weekly basis. And if you select a bucket, this is where you define the number of days which the claim month, the claim bucket would consist of. So let's say if I say the bucket should be of 5 days, and I save the setting, this means that my entire month would be divided into 6 buckets. So 5, 6 is 30. So there'll be 6 buckets, 5 days each. So when we go on to the claim screen and we go on to the claim requisition screen, I select a distributor. And this would say that you cannot, no requisition for this month because it's there have been no requisitions for this particular month. Now I select the month of December, right? So I can see on the right, I can see the buckets that have been created, which means if I select 1 till 5 December, this means the claims, that is, if this is a trade offer claim, then that means that the invoices that were raised from the 1st to the 5th of the December have the value 6,162. If I want to view the next bucket, which is 6th to 10th of December, I am able to view the different claims falling under this bucket. And so I can see the claims of each and every bucket. And as soon as that particular days have passed of that particular month, I can raise the claim. So let's say I send this claim for approval for the first, let's say I am sending the claim for trade-off, and I've raised this particular claim. I can view the status of that particular claim that I just raised for the month of December 2021 and for the first bucket. I can also view it on my approval screen if I select the distributor and I select the level. I can see the claim that I raised. I can see the type of claim that has been raised, and then I can approve it by checking the box and I execute it. So my claim has been raised for that bucket. I saw the status that it was raised, and now I've approved the claim. And this entire cycle for the claim generation is complete. Now, what's important to note is that you cannot change the number of days in the bucket if you have pending raised claims. The entire claim cycle needs to be complete. Once it is complete, then only you can change the settings of the bucket, or if you want to move from a bucket system to a monthly system, if that works for you better. So that entire cycle has to be followed. No pending claims should be there in the module for you to approve or for you to raise, and then only you can change the setting. So this whole module was dynamic claim generation on the basis of days, where you don't have to wait for a month to raise the claim, and you can do it breaking your month into buckets. So over to Saman.
Thank you, Zoha. Let me share my screen again. Yeah. So that was the demo for dynamic claim generation. Now we'll move on to the next feature that we've worked on, is the auto assignment of virtual hierarchy. So this is this feature is basically something that we've consciously worked on, because one of the problems that the users have been facing was that whenever they created any new distributions, they had to go and assign it first in the virtual hierarchy. So that we basically did while creating a distributor. We were we have given the assignment of virtual hierarchy there and then. But now the users that have been created in the system, the system users, and if they had a particular virtual hierarchy level assigned to them, they had to go and manually update all users. Okay. So this is the feature that we worked on, that now you won't be that now you guys won't have to go and basically update all the system users that you've created. If there is a virtual hierarchy level that has been assigned to a specific user and any new distributions are added in that virtual hierarchy level, then that distributor or its visibility will be automatically given to that user. Now since this is a very sensitive feature, so we've created it modularly, because we had some users that did not want this particular thing, this particular change to take place, and there were some users who wanted this change to happen. So we've created it modularly. So any users who do not wish to use the auto assignment virtual hierarchy feature can continue to use the feature as they are using it right now. It won't affect their normal operations. So Zoha will be giving you a detailed demo of how this feature will actually be working, and you may ask any questions if you have regarding it then. So over to Zoha.
So I'll be sharing my screen again. Right. So as Saman said that initially, adding a distributor or a supervisor to a virtual hierarchy was a many-step process. That is, you had to create a distributor or a supervisor. You had to have your virtual hierarchy manually updated, and then you had to have your users physically updated as to what distributions are to be visible to that particular user. Right. So what we did was we automated the process, and I'll be showing you what we did exactly. So what you do is you go into your users panel, and right, so this is the virtual hierarchy that has been assigned to this particular user. So initially what used to happen was you make a distributor and then you physically update that using the virtual hierarchy. What we did then again was that once a distributor is created, there we provided the provision of selecting the virtual hierarchy filters so that the distributor automatically goes and falls into that particular hierarchy, right? So once you create a distributor, that is the step that you're doing to include that distributor into a particular virtual hierarchy. There are no additional steps that you're doing. Once that particular distributor is added in a particular virtual hierarchy, and the auto assignment feature is turned on. So let's assume if a distributor belongs to a south 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 hierarchy, it has 3 levels of virtual hierarchy, and all the 3 levels are south south south. So the auto assignment feature is turned on that particular distributor, then this distributor will be automatically visible to that user. Now, again, as someone mentioned, that it's a very sensitive feature, and we do not want visibility, give access visibility to users or restrict visibility from users. So it will be a backend setting feature, which you would have to ask your account managers to have it turned on for you if you require the auto assignment. And by auto assignment, it again means that if a distributor is created and it falls under a particular hierarchy, you want the user to have the provision to view that distributor automatically. You do not want to go to the users tab and select every user individually and then select that particular distribution on that particular distributor so that the distribution is visible to the users. Apart from that, there is also another functionality that has been added, which is the always include filter. Now, all of those who've been using the system know that this is the virtual hierarchy that we select which shows up the distributions in our visible distributor dropdown. What always include filter does is that it shows you all the distributions that are present in the system that not necessarily belong to the hierarchy that is selected above, right? So let's assume if you have a case that you are a manager who wants to who has been assigned a particular virtual hierarchy, but there's one particular distribution that does not fall under your hierarchy, but you still manage that. So you go on and use this filter to assign that particular distribution to yourself so that you have the visibility of the distributions that belong to your virtual hierarchy, as well as the one additional distribution that is not assigned to you but is there and you manage it, so you can have the provision of having the visibility of that particular distribution as well. So this setting would be enabled if you would ask for it. Otherwise, it will be working, the system would be working exactly how it is right now. So this is from my side. Saman, over to you.
Thank you, Zoha. Okay, so let me reshare my screen. Okay, guys, so that sums up our web features. And if you have any questions, you may drop them in the chat window, or if you want an extensive demo, you can ask your account managers as well to basically help you out with this feature. Moving on to the second part of our webinar, that is the mobile application feature demos. And we'll be talking about a few specific features that we worked on in the mobile application. So Salman will be giving you a demo of a few around 6 features that we've worked on. Basically, these sum up the UI UX updates that we've done in the application, some improvements regarding to the SDR module that we previously presented, barcode scanning options to take an order. So Salman will be giving you a detailed demo of how the mobile application will be working. So over to Salman.
Hi everyone. So I will be presenting some of the features that we will be releasing in our upcoming app release. So I hope you all can see my screen. So the first feature that I'll be talking about is the credit visibility on app. So for example, if we tap a store, एंड जो कंपनीज बेसिकली क्रेडिट विजिबिलिटी का मॉड्यूल यूज कर रही हैं, तो जब भी आप किसी स्टोर पर टैप करेंगे, देन ऑटो बुकर विल हैव द विजिबिलिटी के स्टोर के अगेंस्ट कितनी क्रेडिट लिमिट रह गई है. सो फॉर एग्जांपल अ स्टोर जिसकी क्रेडिट लिमिट अच्छी खासी रहती है, देन दैट तो हम लोग उसको ग्रीन कलर से हाईलाइट कर देते हैं कि स्टोर के अगेंस्ट अभी भी क्रेडिट लिमिट काफ़ी ज़्यादा रहती है. बट इन केस किसी स्टोर की क्रेडिट लिमिट एक्सीड हो गई है, सो even before visiting the store, order booker will have a visibility के store की credit limit exceed हो गई है, breach हो गई. And in case of spot sellers, obviously जब वो invoice generate करेगा, then the app will basically prompt the spot seller कि आप इसकी invoice generate नहीं कर सकते. In case if it's set from web panel कि आपने इसकी invoicing block कर. So this is the first feature regarding credit visibility. And let me visit one store. So the second change that we made is the improving the visibility of icons on the order screen. तो आप जब top पे जो icons देख रहे हैं, for example call का icon है, history का icon है, picture का, check-in का. So previously these icons were in oval shape and उसका look and feel भी इतनी अच्छी नहीं थी, and order bookers को भी उसमें थोड़ी मुश्किल होती. But now we have improved these icons into tile-based look, and this basically gives a better visibility to order bookers as well. So this was the second change, and the third change I'll be talking about is the barcode scanning option against a store. So basically this is an optional setting, and for example इसका purpose basically ये है कि आप दुकानों के against barcode system में upload कर देंगे, and order booker has to scan that particular barcode in order to take an order. So basically इस feature का basically purpose ये है कि is to help basically order bookers and spot seller to identify the store. कुछ स्टोर्स बहुत आपस में करीब होते हैं एंड ऑटो बुकर्स को आइडेंटिफिकेशन में मुश्किल हो सकती है कि फॉर एग्जांपल किसी स्टोर का अगर बोर्ड ही ना लगा हो एंड दो स्टोर्स आपस में करीब हो तो चेक इन तो हो जाएगा, लेकिन ऑटो बुकर्स जब तक वो स्कैन नहीं करता बारकोड then he won't be able to take an order. So once the scanning is successful, then order booker will exactly know कि correct दुकान में खड़ा हो. The second purpose is के about this feature is कि हमें to reduce the fake ordering. So basically we can turn this feature as mandatory to take an order. So जब तक order booker doesn't scan the barcode of the store, तब तक उसको order लेने हम app नहीं लेने देगी. So this is an option setting and can be turned on. So let me just give you a quick demo on how does it work. So for example, if I tap on scan, so basically अगर दुकान का सही बारकोड अगर स्कैन होगा then the scan icon would turn blue and then the order booker will be able to take an order against the store. The last feature that I'll be talking about is the multiple SDR request against a single SKU. Let me just give you that demo as well. So जब आप SDR की स्क्रीन में आते हैं, प्रीवियसली देयर वाज अ रिस्ट्रिक्शन कि आप सिंगल एसक्यू के अगेंस्ट एक ही रिटर्न रिक्वेस्ट डाल सकते थे, बट नाउ यू कैन एंटर मल्टीपल रिक्वेस्ट अगेंस्ट अ सिंगल एसक्यू. So for example, if I select all purpose themes and add a reason of damage stock, so basically इसी SKU के against I can also generate another request for another reason. So पहले आप इसको restrict करती थी, सिंगल ही रिक्वेस्ट आप डाल सकते थे, but now you can add multiple requests against a single SKU. So let me just add it. So as you can see कि एक ही SKU के against multiple आप SDR return request आप डाल सकते हैं. So that was all about the app updates. So over to you, Saman.
Thank you, Salman. Let me share my screen back. Yeah. Yeah. So the third part is talking about system improvements. So we worked on 3 system improvements, that is bulk status updates of users. So what used to happen previously was कि आप लोगों के जो भी users inactive हो जाते थे system में, कोई छोड़ के चला गया, किसी ने resign कर दिया, but they were still created in the system, so you guys had to go and manually mark the users as inactive. But now we've given you guys bulk upload as well. Then there's another feature that is secondary order cancellation. So now you will be able to click basically cancel your secondary order and then mark a reason against it. So this is also a minor improvement that we've done. And then credit module update, which someone also talked about. We basically worked on limit per bill validation as well. So all these system improvements can be are minor, and they can be discussed more in detail with your relevant account managers. So yeah, so that is all from our side in terms of the developments that we've done in this release, in the January release. So if I show you about the upcoming innovations, so what is the 5th February pipeline looks like, what roughly the March and the April pipeline looks like. So now we'll be moving on to taking questions. If you guys have any questions regarding whatever features we've presented, are there any suggestions that you would like to share with us? So you can drop in your questions in the chat window and we'll be answering them. We had been answering a few questions, so let me walk everyone through them as well. So the first question that we had was regarding distributor stock transfer, that we already had distributor stock transfer, so why did we make this feature again? So basically, the distributor stock transfer was a very basic feature which we had earlier, so it's an extension to this feature only, and it covers more complex scenarios. Then another one had a question that can be adjust stock in pieces. So yes, you have a setting that you can set your transfers in either units, cartons, or boxes. So whatever you wish to select, you can. Okay, then. Yeah, then we had a concern regarding the checkout button in application. So that is part of our upcoming release. We will be giving a checkout button in our mobile application as well to exactly calculate the time being spent in the shops. Okay. Barcodes are maintained and store data from where it can scan. Okay, so Vakar, a prereq for to use this feature is basically that barcode आपका store के against save भी होगा in the system, but a store will also have a barcode installed physically at the store as well. So अगर तो आप अपने store keepers को देना चाह रहे हैं एक barcode, so वो आपको पहले दुकान वालों से इंस्टॉल करवाना पड़ेगा, बेसिकली पेस्ट करवाना पड़ेगा, या क्यूआर कोड जैसे अगर आप उनके पास रखवाते हैं, एंड देन वो ही क्यूआर कोड्स आपको स्टोर के अगेंस्ट अपलोड करना पड़ेगा एंड फिर उससे वैलिडेशन होगी. अच्छा, सो द स्कैनिंग ऑप्शन SKU स्कैनिंग और एसेट स्कैनिंग. अच्छा, सो इट रिप्रेजेंट्स स्टोर का बारकोड स्कैनिंग. फिजान, any further questions? So ये थोड़े से मैं इस पे क्लियर कर देती हूँ ये बारकोड वाले फीचर के ऊपर. So जैसे आपके जीपीएस का चेक इन होता है, आप स्टोर पे जाके जीपीएस का चेक इन करवाते हैं ऑर्डर बुकर से, तो ये इसी तरह से अगर इफ यू गाइस स्टार्ट गिविंग योर स्टोर्स एंड अ क्यूआर कोड और बेसिकली अ बारकोड, उनके पास कोई इस तरह की कह लें कि टेम्पलेट एक पड़ी हो जिसके ऊपर उनका बारकोड है, so the order booker can go and scan the barcode there and then, or the QR code, and then he'll be able to basically take an order. Now this is a mandatory option as well as इस पे अगर आप mandatory नहीं करना चाह रहे होते हैं फिर भी order ले ले तो वो भी आप कर सकते हैं. Can we have that any option that you can take orders? SKU barcode scanning. अच्छा, सो अब SKU बारकोड स्कैनिंग में थोड़ा मतलब ये वी कैन फर्दर मतलब इसके ऊपर देख सकते हैं. अभी करंटली वी डोंट हैव दैट ऑप्शन, but we'll need to understand the workflow as well. If we are going to design this, there can be complications in building this feature as well. So अगर आप लोगों की इस तरह की कोई रिक्वेस्ट है या कोई इस तरह का आपको रियल लाइफ में चैलेंज आता है, then we can you guys can share it with your account managers as well, and then we'll be happy to look at any suggestions. Kindly allow 2 pictures on app. I'd like to understand कि 2 pictures in which feature are you talking about? Check-in के ऊपर भी आप set कर सकते हो the number of pictures that you want to take. You can also set के SDR के ऊपर भी आप 2 ही pictures ले रहे होते हो. तो if you can clearly mention which feature would you like to have 2 pictures in? Acha, so any further questions? Unproductive attempt. If a store is closed, then acha, so isko hum dekh lete hain ki if there's any setting for this, we can look into it. Okay, so किसी के और कोई सवाल? Otherwise, we proceed to conclude the session then. Okay. So guys, just wrapping this session up. I hope this session was productive for you guys and you got to learn on the new features that we've been developing. We're trying to improve this process further. We're trying to build in more useful and valuable features for you guys. So if you guys have any suggestions, comments, feedbacks, do provide us. And until a second, we've got, yeah. So until next time, see you again in the next feature release. Thank you, everyone.